All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. And today we're going to be talking about Netflix's Yu Yu Hakusho, directed by Shotsuki Kawa, and it was originally written by the author Yoshihiro Togashi. And we have starring Takumi Kitamura, we have Keita Machida, and Ai Mikami, to name a few of the casts that was in this series. Now, this show has come out back when we were kids, and it was like where you had to wait the whole to the next day to get to the next episode. However, if you grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, you would know that some of these animes didn't go all the way to the end. All right. We had to watch. I mean, how many times have you watched the first episode, Leo?
I think I watched it like, I don't know, 10, 15
We
times.
saw that kid almost get hit by a car like maybe four times.
Yeah. I mean, every time I was like, what's going to happen to him? Oh,
Yeah.
he got saved.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember was it on Toonami before it went on Adult Swim?
I think it was. I don't think it ever was.
It was on Toonami for a little bit, right?
I don't think it went to adult. Well, did it go to adult swim? Oh, it might have been.
It did go to Adult Swim later. But like when it went to Adult Swim, like Inuyasha was playing at the time.
Right. Yeah.
And that was a big one.
That was my gateway anime.
Yeah. And also I forgot, but like Kanata Hongo is also in this show. And he is a character he is an actor that's played multiple anime characters. He's played Envy for Full Metal Alchemist. He's played Armin from Attack on Titan. He's played Echizen Ryoma or Ryoma Echizen from The Prince of Tennis. Like, this guy has a live action, like, just a sheet of music. I don't know what the term I'm looking for. What is a rap sheet? There you go. A rap sheet full of just anime characters. Like, you wouldn't believe. You'd have to look him up, and yeah, you would see what I'm talking about. This guy is everywhere anime. He was also in Kingdom. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that series. I've read the manga for like, I want to say the past 10 years maybe, and he plays the brother of the king. But yeah, so Kanata Hongo, kudos to that guy. He did an amazing job as Hiei. I mean, when I thought of Hiei, he was the first dude I thought of like that could play that character, because it's just. He just has that face of like either a villain or an anti-villain or like the anti-hero kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, guys. So I didn't watch the anime, not even a single episode. So I'm going to ask you two. I know all three of us watched the Netflix series of Yu Yu Hakusho. How did it fare compared to the anime series? What do you guys think?
You go first, Diz. You go first.
Personally, Urameshi in the anime was a little bit more lax, and because he had obviously more story to go with, whereas the Netflix series only had 5 episodes, so he had to kind of like consolidate all of his emotions into a shorter time period, correct? So I would say that he was more aggressive in the Netflix series, which made him more believable when he was doing things actually for the good, right? Because he would be like, oh, I hate when, I hate having to do these things for other people, or I hate having to follow the law when they don't even follow it themselves. Like, he had no trust in the adult system at all. You know what I mean? He looked down on his mom in the Netflix series. In the anime, he did as well, but like he just thought everybody was just lazy. All the adults was lazy. So, he was a good dude, but he didn't like that people around him was like shady-ish or never lived up to his ideal of what an adult should be. And I think that the Netflix series played off a more gritty version of him. And I liked that part of Yusuke in the Netflix series versus the one in the anime.
What
about you?
Yeah, no. That's a good question. The last time I watched Yu Yu Hakusho was 2000 single digits. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like,
if I was, go ahead.
Yeah. So how the Netflix series has like their own iteration of the actual show, and then of course anime is so like it's super exaggerated. Is there some scenes in the anime that were seen in the Netflix series?
Well, I would say like the opening scene. Well, not the opening scene, but the scene where he gets killed by a car or the truck.
Yo, that scene was mega graphic.
Yeah, that was. It was crazy. I'm like, oh, you just Okay, you just ran him
Yeah,
over.
yeah. I was just like, that was an incredible way to start it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I have something to say about that scene. So I think I had to watch that scene like 5 times. Let me tell you why. Number one, I tried to watch it by myself. Number two, Haley was like, "What are you watching? Yu Yu Hakusho." When I see the beginning, bam. Number two, that's the second time. Third time, Angel. Hey, what are you watching? It looks interesting because he died. Watch it again. Number four, here comes Sophie. Sophie's the one to watch it. Bam, he died again. And then the fifth one was Paulina. She's like, "What is that? How did he die? Oh, you gotta watch the first part." Boom, 5 times.
So you watched it like the rest of us, except instead of waiting months to rewatch the entire season, you did it within days. You watched him die so many times.
So much.
Yeah, like,
that's pretty crazy. But other like that's so funny though. That's funny that you went through the same thing we did, but you did it all in a span of like maybe a day or two. Other than that, like I said, I think I watched it in early 2000s when it was on like Adult Swim or Toonami or whatever it was. And the unfortunate situation is that it kept repeating itself, right? It would get to a certain point and then it would repeat from the beginning again. And as a kid, I never understood why. I'm like, why is this happening to me? Right? I just want to watch this whole thing. So I will admit, I've never finished Yu Yu Hakusho, and I tried my most bestest to watch the anime after watching the Netflix series, to get a better comparison. Yo, I don't know if you noticed, but it was Christmas and New Year's, and I literally just went to Mexico and came back. Like I had no time. It was crazy stuff happening. So I didn't get any time, and I'm planning to do it either way. So maybe I'll do like a Instagram post or a TikTok expressing how I really feel at the end or later. But from what I can remember, there were things I thought Urameshi was pretty similar. I do agree. I think he was a little more gritty, a little more like in the live action than in the anime for sure. But I'm pretty sure what's his name? Kawabara, right?
Kuwabara, yeah.
Kuwabara. I think he was pretty close to his character, if I remember well.
Yeah.
So were the other
close,
two.
Yeah.
So were the other two, as far as I can remember. They were pretty close to their characters. Yeah, no, I did enjoy the show overall. Yeah, it was interesting.
Speaking of Kurama, the one that was always in the suit, dude, his outfit for the show,
the rose one.
I was like, the rose outfit. I was like, yo, that looked nice.
Yeah, no,
I was like, I would wear that. I was like, wow, that is cool. And I'm just like, okay, sorry, dude. Sorry, dude. Sorry that I walk in your presence, And I was actually really impressed at what they did with his character, because Kurama is actually a pretty complex character, but you don't see some of his character building until later. Like, so I also had to restart the anime, right? So, and right now I believe I'm in episode 35, and I'm in the Dark Tournament. There's 170 or 17, but I don't remember the U.S. ever getting that high. Like,
no, I don't. No, it never did.
Right?
I don't think it ever did.
Like after the Dark Tournament, that's all I remember it being. I mean, I remember finishing the Dark Tournament, but I don't remember watching every single episode.
I don't even remember getting through the whole Dark Tournament. I remember them entering the Dark Tournament. I remember parts of the Dark Tournament, but I don't remember the finishing part of the Dark Tournament. So, I mean, that's where my problem was.
Was everybody in that in the Netflix series in the Dark Tournament?
No,
Is that,
they did.
Not everybody.
No, I would argue. I would argue that there wasn't a Dark Tournament in the same sense, because
but there kind of was.
There was, but not in the same sense. Because I felt like in the now, correct me if I'm wrong, because you've just watched the anime, so you've reset it. But in my mind, it was like the Dark Tournament was a tournament. Like imagine Dragon Ball Z and everybody coming together to go through this tournament. Yeah. It was the same thing. All these people who had all these powers that were coming to win something at the end. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. This
one didn't really have that same feeling. It was more like, oh, we're coming to save what's his face's sister, kind of. And that was how it felt, And there was just a tournament kind of on the side.
Yeah.
Like I felt like each of them had like their own boss. They're going through levels, and
Hmm.
not only like a dungeon, but like an RPG game. Like, oh, this guy's gonna go to
Hmm.
this like this door,
Yeah.
so forth. And then at the very end, they go and try to defeat the ultimate boss,
Yeah.
which is like the Toguro brothers. Which that dude is insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like I was just like watching the series, trying to remember the anime, and I was just like, was that his backstory? I don't remember his backstory at all. I just remember that dude getting yoked. You know what I mean? He was just getting absolutely just ginormous. It didn't make any sense. I knew that he was going through something, but it didn't make any sense. And after so many years, I'm just like, why does he know Genkai? You know, the teacher of Urameshi. And I was just like, I was just like, oh yeah, she trains both her and Kuwabara, right? Because I thought Kuwabara just showed up with a spirit sword.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I watched the anime, and no, he's always been in tune with the spirit world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was.
And so that's why I'm just like, okay, that's cool. You know, I mean, like he knows more than he brings himself out to be, and he actually trains with. Oh yeah, so in the anime, Kuwabara and Urameshi or Yusuke both go and try to talk to Genkai, but there's like a couple hundred people that are also trying to talk to her, and there's a small tournament there just so they can learn from her. And go figure that Kuwabara just wanted to be like, yo, can you like cut off my spiritual connection? Like that was his whole reason of being there. And in this show or in the series, Kuwabara was there to be like, hey, you're gonna train with somebody? Yeah, I'm gonna train with him too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. Kuwabara's character played the similar role. Kuwabara was like, I don't want Yusuke getting stronger than me. I want to be the same because we're rivals.
Yeah,
like that was his whole.
Yeah, Vegeta's long lost cousin.
Oh yeah, for sure. A nicer version though. He has a code.
Yeah, he does.
Which brings me to the next part, which be like notable characters in the series. And he's always been my favorite since number one, or since day one, excuse me, that I've seen it when I was a kid. Kuwabara is my favorite character, hands down. He is my favorite character. And I was like, I never liked Urameshi. I never liked him. He was super cocky. I was like, I couldn't get behind him. Kuwabara though, he was cocky, but if he were to lose, he lost with like dignity and stuff like that. He's like, it's cool. I can get back up. I'll do it again. We'll rise. He's like, we can do it again. Like he never was defeated. He would lose, but he didn't feel defeated. You know. So for me, Kuwabara was the absolute. And in the series too, he played a great Kuwabara. I was like, yeah, because he bowed to his friend because they got hurt because they followed him and he wasn't able to protect them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He's like, I care for my people. If my people get hurt, that's on me. You know what I mean? Like people like that have integrity like that, top notch.
I would say Hiei.
Yeah. You like Hiei?
The dude has his little dragon tattoo, brings out the dragon, and the katana, the way he came in the Netflix series was just pretty sick. He came out with Kurama, and at the end of the episode of episode 1, and I'm like, okay, he's cool. He wears black, he looks pretty sick, he's very reserved, not kind of like how I am sometimes, and I'm like, what's this guy's problem, But he was all for looking for his little sister at the same time, and I'm like, who's his sister? But yeah, he's pretty dope. I think I just wish that they kind of gave him a little bit more backstory, because I think I don't know how it is in the anime, if he got like a lot of kind of like a lot of, I guess not screen time but anime time to show his backstory, and was his sister even in the anime as well?
Yeah. Yes, and actually the order of it is funny because in the series you see Hiei looking for his sister. Like that's his whole spiel. But the reason why he has that knife, those three dangerous things that yokai have, the one that they made Hiei slice his forehead, because that sword or whatever is supposed to give you yokai powers.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the anime he actually got it surgically there. But in the series, he I guess he got it from that. And the
Okay.
order of it was he got in trouble in the anime. He got in trouble. Yusuke beat him, and then so now to pay him back, he has to help Yusuke through to fight these demons or whatever. He's on probation kind of thing, right? And you see that's how he becomes closer. And then after that, he actually goes to tries to save his sister without the assistance of everybody else. And that's why I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is where it was. So the dark tournament that we got to see was actually a part of after that fight when they first joined hands together. And this is like there was like a 6-month time jump after the first time Kuwabara and Yusuke train. It's pretty cool. What about you, Leo? Did you have any notable characters?
I think I would have to go with what is said. I think Kuwabara. I can't remember much of the anime. Although probably, I think in the anime, I think I liked Urameshi the most because I thought his spiritual power was pretty dope. But yeah, Kuwabara in the live action was I liked his character. I like you, it's like his ability just to be loyal to his friends, to fight to the very end for them.
Mm-hmm.
The heck was that? Did anybody else hear that? It was just me. There was a weird sound.
It was a ghost.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree with that. Kuwabara was probably my favorite character.
Yokai at Leo's house.
Well, considering that it was only 5 episodes, the pacing of the show was actually very good. There wasn't any boring cutscenes or like that. Like even the fighting scenes, bro. Whoa! And remember that first kid that got bullied?
Yeah.
The first kid that got bullied, and and he got that ear or the bug in his ear or whatever.
Yeah.
I knew that he was gonna be the one fighting because that dude was way too stacked as a kid. Because I was looking at all the kids bullying him, I was just like, this dude's body is freaking solid, right? Meaning that he works out, or at least he punches somebody because his back was like huge. I was just like, oh, he's gonna fight later on. And I'm like, what do you know? Insect goes in there, and it's the same actor, right? And he's doing all these crazy fight scenes with Yusuke, and I'm like, this scene is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all like, whoa, doing flips, and then tying someone up, and then like the entire, I don't know whoever did the choreography for this, incredible job. I don't know, I just thought it was really good, even against Yusuke versus the red yokai, the really buff one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see
the big buff dude? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the way like he just kept like kneeing the dude, like he would climb up, I was just like, am I watching a UFC fight? I was like, that's a demon, right? In my head, I'm like, and he like no fear, and I think that was the coolest part that was the most true to the character of Yusuke. Yusuke did not care if you had horns or if you were, rocking wings. If he said, he's like, if you want these hands, you can have them. That was Yusuke. And I was just like, good job. So the pacing for me was really just boom, boom, boom. Awesome.
Yeah. So I want to say something before I get to the pacing. So I was watching this in my in-laws' house, and she's my mother-in-law is very like, she prays every day, Catholic and everything.
Spiritual.
Right? Mm-hmm. Very spiritual, right? Here's this show on the big screen as, everybody's watching. She glances up, she doesn't believe in spirits or the third eye and all that stuff.
Right.
I'm over here like, I don't know what to expect. All I know is that this dude, she's a spirit detective. That's all I know. And
right.
And I didn't click to me. Spirits comes along with demon, and I'm like, oh crap. So I'm over here watching and looking back, like, did you see this big black or this big red dude on the TV? So I'm like, oh crap, he has horns now.
Yeah.
And
eating the souls of children.
Yeah, so I explained to Paulina to tell her like, yeah, it's very spiritual. It's very heartwarming. We got to get rid of our demons.
Have to convince. Hey, man. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we got to get rid of our demons. And this guy Urameshi, he is the savior. And so he's the one be all. Like, but with the pacing. I had this discussion with the kids, and they're like, "Oh, only 5 episodes." Like, yeah, they're like, I feel like there could be more. Like I feel like they just all packed it all into like each episode. Each episode had its own story, plot, and a lot of action was in there, which is pretty cool. And I think that's what drew me in.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there could be more than 5 episodes. What do you guys think?
Oh, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
you know, I do agree. I think the pacing was actually pretty good. I was worried that we were gonna go and get a whole freaking 2 episodes of them training, because I remember, I swear it was very long in the anime where they were training forever. I'm like, am I wrong? Was there a lot of when he was training to be like
When he was training, they never showed his training in the anime.
really?
He just showed up. Yeah, he just showed up.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. No, but there is a scene where, remember I was telling you about the time where there was 100 people trying to see Genkai?
Yeah.
That wasn't a whole arc. It was to train
Maybe-
with her.
Oh, maybe that's what I remember.
That's probably what you. Yeah,
Maybe
So
that's what I remember.
Yeah, that was like 12 episodes.
Yeah, you see, I'm so happy we didn't go through all of that. So, you know, we went right into the nitty gritty, pretty much. So I thought the pace was pretty good. I do agree. Maybe because it was 5 episodes, there are things that they probably we could have probably made it let's say a 12 episode thing, and then had the actual the dark tournament or whatever,
tournament, yeah,
right? And that would have probably been nice to have that, because I remember being kind of like, oh, whoa, this is cool, because you had all these people fighting each other and having all their ability. So it would have been nice to have that, and that we probably would have gotten that if we got the 12 episodes, right?
Yeah,
instead of 5. So that would be, yeah, the pacing was good for what it was, but at the same time, I feel like because of that, how short it was, they couldn't really fill it with the parts that made the show what I remember it being, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like what was missing? You guys think? What was missing?
The actual dark
fight scenes, but
in my opinion, the actual dark tournament where there were just a bunch of people fighting the whole time. Like it was like Mortal Kombat.
The first fight, Kuwabara fights a kid with yo-yos.
Yeah.
Or demon kid with yo-yos.
What?
That's his first fight.
Not to be mistaken with what's his face from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah, not Killua.
Killua.
But Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho is by the same person.
Oh, maybe it is the same kid.
Yeah. It could be the same kid. Nah.
After he dies. Does Killua die?
I don't think so.
I hope not. We don't know
but
yet.
I hear that the anime is going to be, there's going to be more of the anime because
that's what I'm saying.
The author got better.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
But so it's mixed feelings for the pace. It was good for what it was, but they could have extended it and put the dark tournament in it. Yeah, for sure.
And they can't, and it's too bad they can't do the dark tournament. I mean, if they do, they'd need a new bad guy. But in the dark tournament, the Toguro brothers are supposed to be there. And we all, and it's funny too. So when in the anime, when they're trying to save Yukina, the sister, the Toguro brothers lose, right? They lose, and it was all a ploy to get the main characters to do the dark tournament. Like that was the whole spiel, That was the whole thing that they had to do.
Interesting.
So I thought that was pretty. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
I gotta really rewatch the anime.
Yeah, it's actually really good, and I can't.
No, I remember it being
for this, and for this too, y'all. Like for all those anime watchers, I watched it. I started watching this dub, and I'm gonna finish it dub. When we were watching it, it was in English. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know anything about anime. It was just on TV.
It was a cartoon.
It was a cartoon at the time. Growing up, it was a cartoon. We don't have this, oh, you're on 13? All right, wait for me kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that.
No.
We didn't have that.
Did you catch last week's episode? No? Damn. Yeah. Get the recap. Yeah. Or wait a couple months when it restarts.
I was like, how many times did you see Goten and Trunks fight? Me? 15.
Or how many times did you see Goku go up against Frieza?
Oh, yeah. 100. Man. You know what I'm saying?
1,000.
That was another one that I unfortunately never finished watching just for the same reason, just kept restarting. And
Yeah.
that, and look, for all the Dragon Ball Z fans out there, look, don't hate me, okay? But one of the things I enjoyed Dragon Ball Z, I thought it was great in so many aspects. But if it lacked in one place, it was how drawn out they had between fight scenes. Right?
You sound like my father.
Like
It's the truth, though.
My
It's the
dad said the
truth.
same thing. He's like, they talk too much.
Yeah, it was so annoying. They would talk for like 5 episodes, fight for like a minute in one episode, and then have another 6 episodes of them talking again. I'm like, bro. And then Goku died, and then he would come back 20 episodes later.
That was a long journey itself. You know,
Yeah.
him going through the afterlife, navigating.
So it was
through-
like, it was crazy. That was always the thing that irritated me about Dragon Ball Z. But I remember watching it after. I remember watching Dragon Ball all the way through, like on Kiss Anime, whenever Kiss Anime was still there. I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, that was satisfying.
I actually sat down and watched Dragon Ball or rewatched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z like back in 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, I just watched 200 or 500 episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
Dang.
I'm happy.
Yeah. I finally did
Like,
what my
I'm
childhood
happy.
couldn't.
Yeah. I was just like, wow. So that's what happened in order.
And you didn't have to
Exactly.
repeat yourself.
Exactly.
Nope.
No
You
repeat.
know what's funny though? After like right when Goku gets out of that restoration chamber or whatever, I purposely watched the first episode again of the Saiyan saga. I was like,
Just to feel
this is it.
the nostalgia of childhood.
Yeah, feel like a kid again. Like the frustration.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Well,
Oh my
for as far as
gosh.
for Yu Yu Hakusho though, there's a lot of things that in the show or in the anime that wasn't in the series. Naturally, with only 5 episodes, you can only do so much. Like they didn't show Kuwabara's sister Chizuru, who is actually in the anime within the Dark Tournament. Like she's watching it in the middle of a bunch of demons. Like it's kind of funny. The only reason why no one's like eating her up is because she's with Koenma in his adult form. Where one change, Koenma should have been
Here
a
we go.
baby.
Yep. Thank you.
Should have been a baby, dude.
Thank you.
What is it? Doesn't make sense that he has a pacifier in his adult form.
Right. I'm like, what?
No one
what-
knows.
Okay, I had to look this guy up too. I'm like, I wanted to see their anime counterparts. Bro, why is this dude a baby?
Yeah,
Why is this dude
no.
a baby? Why?
My wife, we're watching it together, right? And she's like, "Who's that guy?" It's like, "Oh, he's like the lord of the place, and he helps him get through all the. He's like his boss or whatever." He's like, "Oh, it's like, what is this in his mouth?" And I'm like, "The pacifier." And she's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And I kind of sat there for a little bit, and I'm like, "I know why." And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "He's supposed to be a baby. Why is he an adult? He doesn't become an adult until later. What the heck is happening right now?"
He's only in that form when he has to go to the Dark Tournament.
Yeah.
And
Again, I'm watching this show in my in-laws' house. Again, we got spirits and demons and adults with pacifiers. And I can hear in the background, I hear the word Japon. I'm like, that means pacifier in Spanish. Yes, it's a pacifier.
Yeah.
That's Oh, wow.
Yeah, I
How would you
agree
explain?
100%. I agree 100%. If there's a change other than having the actual Dark Tournament in there, like the real Dark Tournament, yes.
Yeah.
What's his name? Koenma?
Koenma. Yeah.
Koenma should have been a baby. They should have had a child. You could have had a child play his part.
Yeah.
At least an adolescent,
Yes.
Right.
I don't
right.
understand. It's like there are child actors out there. I know there are. You could have made him a child, right?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
kid
the
that
guy who
almost got
played.
ran over by the truck with a child.
Yeah. The girl that was helping out the big guy with the ball. Hey, here you go.
Yep.
She was,
She was
she
a
could've
child. What are there only 2 Japanese children in all of Japan or something? Come on now. It should
And
have
you
been
know
hired
what's
one.
Botan, right? Botan, I thought would have been like a more mature looking. I thought she was more of an adult, right? And in the series, she's like a little girl. I was just like, was she 16 too? I was like, I thought Botan was like a bona fide like she was like maybe in her like 20s. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh,
Like
uh-huh.
her look.
Yeah.
When I saw
get
her
it.
look, and I'm just like, she's a kid. That's a child. I was like, Botan.
They switched the parts.
Yeah,
I
I
was
think Botan gave some age to Quinn.
Yeah, you had to have.
Although I
'Cause
will
I'm like-
say, I aesthetically, I thought Botan, the person they picked for Botan, I was like, okay, I can see her playing Botan. I thought she did a
Yeah,
pretty good job.
I guess.
I do
Her and-
agree. Botan in the anime was a little bit older. Like she looked like she's supposed to
Yeah.
look like she's like in her 20s. But we also have to
Yeah.
remember these are Japanese people. They don't age. Okay,
That's
they
true.
Until
they're 80.
I've seen so many of them that are like in their 60s, and I'm like, oh, you're not 30? What the heck? What happened? What are you
Oh,
doing?
you didn't graduate with me?
Now she's 21, sir.
It's
But,
crazy.
yeah, and then Yukina, right? You see Yukina. I was like, okay, she looks like because I watched the anime. And I was like, yeah, okay, she played the part perfectly. And then I saw her next to Botan. I was like, they look the same age. This doesn't make any sense. I was like, Botan should be. I always thought that she was older than Yusuke. I thought she was older than the entire cast, but that's not the case. In this case, she looked younger than Keiko. And Keiko, another character, she was actually, she played her to her T, because she was never afraid of him, even though that dude was the baddest dude in the school.
She
And,
knew
yeah.
her true heart.
And
Or his
also,
true heart.
in the anime, like they were like, he liked her, but they never showed it or anything like that. But in the anime, they like, everybody around them basically forced them to date. Like they're like, oh, that's your girlfriend. He's like, no, it's like that's your girlfriend. And then there'd be like wholesome scenes like, that he only thinks about you because you're his girlfriend. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I was like, should I watch this in Japanese? Make sure that
the translation is coming through.
yeah. I was just like, and then so
dub,
Baby
the dub.
Koenma would have been awesome, and the Dark Tournament would have been awesome for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Was there any bad things in the movie? Like, Leo, you got?
I mean, not really. I think I've said this many times before on other live action animated
Besides
series.
the demons,
No, it's like it's always hard to portray anime in live action because the energy of anime is just impossible to put in live action because you just can't replicate that. There's things that are physically impossible to do in real life that when you try to replicate it, it looks fake. But for the most part, I think they did pretty good. Like even scenes like, for example, what's his face? How do you say his name? Hie.
Yeah.
Like where he's like sliding around with his sword as he's cutting things up or whatever. Like I wasn't mad about it. That's not possible, but at the same time, you're kind of like, I feel it. I dig it. I'm okay with it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe my expectations of live actions have come down. I was like, have to remind myself this is not an anime. They can't do everything that an anime can, right?
Yeah. Except for that run over scene.
I think that added a little flavor, right?
that did. That's
like
like,
the
oh, you don't
tone
want to
for the
watch
whole
this?
show.
Yeah, it did. It did. Amazing. That fight scenes too. Yeah, no, that like.
Yeah, it set the tone for me like 5 times. I mean, so.
Yeah, exactly. How about you guys?
I don't think I have anything that I want to change, like, or that were not want to change, but that were bad to me. I think they did it justice within the 5 episodes that they had. I feel like if they had anything, I think the weirdest part was Genkai and the youngest Toguro brothers relationship. That was probably the most random part. How their dojo was, overrun by demons and he got absorbed by it, and then they now, they merged and became what he is now. It was a little different. But once I saw that dude with the glasses and the dude on his shoulder, I was like, oh, it's the bad dude from the Dark Tournament. And I was like, wait, I thought he was later on, but no, in the anime, he shows up twice. So yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of bad stuff, just except for that Genkai part. I think was the most random, or the Genkai and Toguro's past was the most random to me because I haven't seen it in the anime yet because I'm rewatching it. And to be honest, other than if it's not in the Dark Tournament saga, then I didn't watch it if it's after that,
Yeah.
because I was like,
The TV never
America
got that
didn't,
far.
yeah, America didn't have that. Yeah. I was like, all these kids these days, they don't know the difficulties.
Yeah.
I
Like
was
we
just
didn't
gonna
even
ask
have,
you, like about
yeah.
about Genkai.
Like I remember having to, like, there's torrent sites, right? And having torrent sites, that was already a huge like advancement on getting anime done, right? And watching it bootlegged from your friend's house. Like that was a huge BitTorrent, yeah. And then I also, used Morpheus to get. I downloaded more Love Hina anime on Morpheus on a dial-up connection.
How long did that
Dial-up
take?
connection. Yo, that took days, bro. Each episode, days. And I also got the specials,
Dial-up.
which was like an hour and a half, and it took days. And because of that, I played outside a lot, so I just let it run.
Yeah.
And then we're just out, so like, yeah,
we weren't fancy enough to get DSL or cable,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or DSL and cable is like low tier now. Now it's like,
I know. What is that?
what is it? T something? T1? No.
Sheesh. I
Yeah,
remember
like-
having 56K, having to dial up.
Yeah. I
Everybody
saw this.
in the house knew who was getting on the internet,
I saw this meme about, or not, this meme about a post. It was reposted. It was said, I cannot for the life of me visualize how to burn a CD. Like, how do you put songs on a blank disc? And in my head, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, I guess there's a whole idea, right? Like this whole era that these kids don't know. And I look and I think about it again. I'm like, oh, don't worry. We had to teach our parents too. I was just like, you'll never know. Y'all never know. Like we grew up with all this greatness. Y'all just had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we were the era of mixtapes. We made it into mixed CDs
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the time too, I think that was pretty fun.
Burnt CDs are awesome.
CDs. It's like, hey, I made a mixed CD for you.
Mm-hmm. I remember I made a ton for my friends, and instead of me, I didn't even think of selling them.
I still have
But-
mine.
Oh, I don't have mine. Oh, wait.
I have like my
Wait, no, I
big
don't
old
have mine.
book of CDs and stuff.
I know how to play the songs on my mix albums now, so I'm cool with it now. But anyway, so let's grade this bad boy. I'll start it off. I'm gonna give this show. I'm gonna give it an A, actually, and I'm gonna give it an A because, like, for what it was working with, it was 5 episodes, and literally, like, there's 4 arcs in the first 26 episodes, or not 4, 3. Wait, yeah, 3 arcs, and they smashed it all in one series, one 5 episode series, and that's incredible enough. And also the pacing was awesome, the fight scenes was incredible, the CGI wasn't crazy, like wasn't terrible, when Kuwabara was going up against that monster like dog thing. And yeah, no, so the CGI wasn't like doo-doo. The characters played it to the T. As soon as I saw Kanata Hongo, I was like, oh, that character's dope. And then I was like, he's probably playing Hiei. Yes, he's playing Hiei. Awesome. The characters was to the T. I really did like this Urameshi versus the anime Urameshi. It made sense if him and Kuwabara didn't like each other then. But in this one, in the series, like, they played more real. They played more human-like. They were very human-like in this. And they were always down to scrap each other. But they had because Kuwabara had a code, it helped Yusuke's character be like respectable in a sense to me. So that's why I'm gonna give this an A and like a 90. This is A, and there's the things that they could have changed is very minor. If it was longer, I'm pretty sure that my score would probably be lower. I think if they had it longer. So for what it was, what they had, I give it an A. It was awesome.
Nice. If you don't mind, Leo, I'm gonna go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. So the fact that I didn't watch the anime, I'm going into this show like I know nothing about Yu Yu Hakusho, basically. And if I were to watch it, well, I did anyways. I watched it without seeing the anime. And I'm just going into it not knowing anything and just watching that as if it's like something brand new, like totally brand new that they put out in Netflix. I'm in like it would have been. It was an amazing series. I liked it. Like I said, the whole him getting run over 5 times for me set the whole tone. for like the whole episodes, and I just really like the action, especially when Hiei was going up against the samurai dude, Bui, I believe his name was.
Oh,
Um,
you mean the dude with the big axe?
yeah, the big axe. Dude was crazy, and it reminded me of the Z Warriors of Dragon Ball Z. Oh, let me just take off my weighted clothing.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Let me get this
I'm like,
aura around me.
oh man, not this again. And so it's like, oh gosh, and then yeah, he had that aura around him, and then I just see he getting like tore up a lot, and I was just like, okay, this is a good battle.
hmm
I kind of wanted to see how this went, and just watching that, and I really liked how they had like the little plot from the very beginning. How this said on the last episode it did this and da 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 da. So it's pretty cool for beneficial for the people that came back to watch it again. Just for the people that can only watch it for like one episode at a time per day.
hmm
I think that was pretty. I think it was pretty good. However, I just didn't like the fact that it was 5 episodes. Again, I just wish they could do double the amount, like maybe like 10 or like 12, or like what Leo said, and I think it'll be straight. For that, I think I'm gonna give it a B. I'm gonna give it a B, like a 85 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. No, I
He's surprised at our grades.
no, I my
I see
grade
you doing
is my grade is Randall's grade. I give it a B as well. I think it's a B. I was thinking about Iz and how he said if it was longer, I would lower my grade. And I'm like, why? Because it would give it more opportunities to make mistakes. That's what was passing through my mind.
Probably, yeah.
So they didn't have any time to make mistakes, so they just they had to play it. But no, I give it a B. I thought so. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. It was fun to watch. It brought back memories. But yeah, I think the lacking of the Dark Tournament and that Koenma was not a baby to begin with was kind of like the thing in my mind. I'm just like, why? So that's the reasons for me to give it a B.
And that's fair.
You're right.
That is fair.
That's expected.
I mean, it was a lot better than I expected, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
it
mean,
was a lot better than I expected.
I mean, better than, and I keep bringing this up. Better than Cowboy Bebop. Better than
Yes, definitely better than Cowboy
Death
Bebop.
Note.
Don't get me started.
Definitely
on
better than Death Note.
Definitely better than Death Note.
But
Well,
I
Cowboy
would not
Bebop-
say it's better. It was better than One Piece. I would not say that it's better than One
I
Piece.
wouldn't say it's better than One Piece, no. And even with One Piece, they had only 8 episodes, and they did great with what they had, right?
Yeah,
And so
See,
One
okay.
Piece is such a thick story, though.
that's true.
I'm afraid of like, what if I watched Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime now? Would I be disappointed?
No.
The fact that like, do you guys like truly, genuinely think that the anime is a lot better, or just in a sense like it's a different like it's good, but it's like a different kind of good rather
Yeah.
than the Netflix series? Would you guys say?
Yeah, I think the anime provides obviously the original content, right? So
Right.
the anime is where it comes from. So you're obviously going to love that more. But like if you were to say that in front of a person that never watched anime before, and then they wanted to watch this, they would like this show enough to watch the anime. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
And then
gotcha.
it'd be like, okay, and they'll try to pick and choose, and they'll realize that the anime has more depth because obviously they have more to play around with. Well, but that, that's just kind of like a perspective. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that it's 100% law.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But anyway, that wraps up this episode. Don't forget to follow us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Anchor FM. You can listen to us every Monday on Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to check out our videos, and please leave a comment below. And don't forget to turn it to 11.